Well, hello, friends. How are you? It's Joni here at Joni's Journals. How's everybody doing? As a prequel to this entire thing, I must tell you that this video was supposed to be already done and over with, and I was supposed to be on to my second video today. However, my husband's truck changed all of those plans. How I spent my spring break was rescuing my husband. It was supposed to be making several videos today and getting them all out to you so that you could see and you could do another Mass Make March with me. However, about 3 hours ago, I got a phone call from my husband saying his truck broke down about 8 miles from here and about 1/8 of a mile away from the job he was trying to get to. So we had to have his truck towed. He had to load all of his tools into my truck, follow the tow truck to the shop, drop off his truck, and have him bring me home. So yeah, his little baby is sitting in the shop right now, and I am finally back here to begin a video with you. So I hope you'll forgive me for the delay that you have no idea even occurred, but this is what we are going to do. We are going to make some specimen cards, and we are going to start from scratch. You can see I have nothing completed here because part of the time that would have been making the video, I was supposed to have already made one of these, but I figured, what the heck, let's just do this, baby. Okay? Let me tell you what we are going to need. We are going to be making, I'm going to show you how to make a larger specimen card, which in fact, once it's completed, your specimen card will be about 4 inches long by just about 3.5 inches wide. Okay. Then we have this little one. And this one is, I've already forgotten my measurements, 2 5/8 wide by 2 3/4 inches long. Okay, these are just random specimen slides that I made using leftovers from making these. And this one is actually, let's see, this one is 4.5 inches long by 2 5/8 wide. It has a front with the hole punched into it and a back, which is just a solid piece of cardstock. Well, I actually think that this is more like a cardboard. I found this paper randomly, and I was like, wow, that's pretty sturdy. We can use that. We have that one. Then we have this little one with the round hole in it, which is, let's see, 3.5 inches long by just a little over 2 inches wide. And it has a plain back as well. Okay, these are just something I just will show you, but these are the babies we're gonna make, and we will probably more than likely decorate a small one together. This one is completed. Let's just measure it that way because I'm going to give you other measurements. This one is 2 5. Oh, I think I gave you these 2 5/8 wide by 2 3/4 high. Yes, I did give you this one already. Now, how you're going to get these little babies is you are going to take a strip of paper for the short one, which is 2 5/8 inches wide. You can't really see that, by 5 inches long. And for the larger one, it's going to be 3.5 inches wide by 8 inches long. Okay, pretty simple. And you are going to need hole punches, square hole punches. This is a 3.5 inch, and this one has no measurements, but I'm saying 2 5/8. Okay, if you don't have these hole punches, no biggie. You can always make a square, use something to trace, and then cut it out using, I would use my scissor and make a slice into it. You can use your utility knife or your craft knife to make your little square. But that's how you formulate them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you now, and I'm going to cut out 2 pieces of cardstock that are these measurements. And I may, in fact, no, I think I'm going to keep using the craft. I might come back with white because I do want to do some stenciling and stamping on it. But the craft ones are fun too. Okay, so maybe we'll do one in white and one in craft. How's that? Okay, I'll be right back. You go gather your supplies, your ruler, your pencils, your punches if you have them, your utility knife or your craft knife if you don't have them, and something to make a square with, like your ruler. You could just measure it. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, and we are back. I have cut 2 pieces of cardstock at 3.5 by 8 inches, okay, in craft. And I have cut 2 pieces of cardstock at 2 5/8 by 5. Now, you may be wondering how I came up with this odd measurement of 2 5/8 by 5. The way that I figured out how big my paper needed to be, and I'm just trying to get a little bit more light here. Okay, the way that I figured that out, after many trials and tribulations, I said, you know, I want my paper to have the square centered on it. So how can I figure that out? Well, I measured out how big this little sliding part was, okay, on my punch. And it is 3.5 inches wide, give or take like a 1/24 of an inch, okay? So I knew that I wanted my paper to fit that measurement because I wanted my square for my specimen slide to be right in the center. So in order to do that, I take my paper, which is cut at 3.5 inches, it's getting stuck in there, and I slide it all the way into my hole punch. And then I want to make sure it's straight, so I'm just going to tilt it a little, and I'm making sure it's straight in there, and I'm going to punch. Okay, and with any luck, when I pull it out, the square will be in the center. Now you can see that my square is off by a little. If that bothers you, no problem. You can turn your specimen slide sideways, or you can just deal with it, okay? It may not have been completely centered into the machine, the hole punch rather, and that's why I took and I cut 2 pieces. I'm going to slide this one in, and I am going to now line it up. Let's turn it sideways. I'm going to line it up with the piece that slides out, okay? And this way I know that I have it exactly in the center, or pretty darn close to it, okay? You may have to move it just a little bit, okay? Let me see if I can turn this for you. And you can see how you can line up the edges of your paper with the piece that slides out of your hole punch, okay? Now I'm going to turn it back around because I can't work upside down. I'm going to check my measurement again, which you really can't see. And it looks pretty good to me. And I'm going to punch, okay? And even centered, it still comes off just a little bit out of center. Not going to bother me, okay? It's as close to center as we are going to get, all right? Now I'm going to put the big guy away, all right? And we're going to do this with our little one, okay? And it's basically the same premise. I measured this, and it's 2 5/8 inches wide, so I know that I need a piece of paper. Let me lay it on top. It might be a little bit easier to explain. that is 2 5/8 inches wide, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my piece of paper, I'm going to slide it in my punch, and I'm just going to make sure that it's even, and it is. But what I am also finding sometimes is that my punch, once my piece of paper has been slid all the way in, across here, sometimes it's not completely straight. And so therein lies the problem with our punch, our hole rather, being perfect. Now let's see, maybe we'll get this one. This one's a little bit easier to maneuver because it is smaller. See, that one's almost completely perfectly in the center, okay? Now we'll do the other one, just so you can see. Again, it's as wide as the piece that slides out, so you know that your square is going to be centered. And I'm going to slide my piece of paper in, okay? Make sure that I have it lined up. Can you see that? With the little piece that slides out, the cover, shall we say. I'm going to push it all the way in. I'm going to hold it. Make sure it's centered. Oh, it's off a little. Let's make sure. Oh, come on. There we go. And I'm going to punch. Wait, I'm going to make sure it's straight though. Okay. And I'm going to punch. And you can see, again, it's off by a little. Is it human error? Possibly. Is it the fact that the punch may not be pristine anymore? It is an older punch, and it may have been a little bit abused because I do like to use these to make my own specimen slides with. Who knows? Is anybody really seeing the little bit of difference? Probably not. Nobody is going to notice once you decorate it up. Okay? Now, in order to achieve the fact that it's going to be perfectly even from side to side, not necessarily, you know, this one's off just by a little too, if you look, okay? I'm not worrying about it, okay? Are you? Probably not. What we're going to do is I am going to take my scoreboard because I just want to make sure that I'm getting this correct, okay? Now, 5 inches, I want my line to be right down the middle so both sides are just as wide. So 5 divided by 2 is 2.5 or 2.5. So I'm going to take my scoreboard up and I am just going to score a line. I used a heavier cardstock this time than I did. The white is a little bit heavier. I think the white is 80 pound and I think the craft is 65 pound. So that could be the problem. All right, so we scored at 2.5 and now we're going to flip it over. And as usual, it's not going to be straight down here, and I am going to fix it with my, what do you call it? Yeah, this thing, the bone folder. I will straighten it out once we have finished scoring the other one, okay? And I'm going to score this one again at 2.5, okay? Just pushing down a little hard because it is a heavier cardstock, okay? And hopefully this one is straight. Let's make sure. I am at odds because my cutting board, my better cutting board, which is my Tim Holtz one, my blade is shot. You can see how much paper I cut. See, there we go. Okay. And so I'm using my older cutting board, paper trimmer, whatever you call it, to cut my papers out. And it's not completely accurate. You can see the rough edges here that I'm getting, and that's why I bought the Tim Holtz one. All right, so this one is 8 inches long, and what we're going to do, we're going to score this one in half, and we can still use our smaller scoreboard. We're going to score at 4, okay? Just like so, okay? And we're going to fold it over, and with any luck, Look at that. It's straight. Now, can you honestly tell that that square is not perfectly centered? No, you can't. And we're going to take and we're going to do the same thing with this one. And score this one at 4 too. It's so funny. I think I told you in my last Mass Make March that I've been watching Crafty by Toni. And it appears that we both have the same problem. Our tools are a bit wonky, as she likes to say. It's not human error. Not any, in no way possible is it human error. It's wonky tools, okay? Just go with it. All right, so now we have 2 of the bigger ones made and 2 of the littler ones made. Now, what we are going to do now is we are going to decorate the outsides of our little specimen slides. And in order to do that, excuse me, I'm just trying to put my scoreboard away. In order to do that, we are going to be using, I have my Gina K, what's it called? The stencil, it's circles, and it's called Gina K, it's called Fizzy, F-I-Z-Z-Y. I'll link it for you. And all it is just some bubbles, okay? Hence the name Fizzy. I have... These come from many makers. You could probably get one on Amazon. My very first one came from Amazon, and it's so abused. It's brown. So I just decided I would use that one. And what I've also pulled out, and I don't know if I'm going to use them all, is my Tim Holtz. Let's see if I can get more light here. My Tim Holtz stamps. This one's called Flutter. I have out my well-loved Field Note stamps. And I've also taken out my entomology set, okay? I'm going to try something, and I don't know if it's going to work, but what I want to try to do is instead of using a piece of ephemera or a cut-out butterfly, I have just purchased more of the Field Notes ephemera, which these butterflies would be perfect for it. So, but what I want to experiment with, and maybe I'll bring you along, is stamping an image in this opening, okay? And we're going to have to probably play around. I think we could probably use... the ladybug would fit, okay? And then we can color her in with alcohol markers, or we could just, oh, my bag has a hole in it. Uh-oh, hope I didn't lose anything. We could just, I actually did, look, a 50-cent one. We could leave it black and white. We can just do the black and white image together. I can color it and come back. I'm sure you don't want to sit through watching me color. But I have those out. And then I thought if we needed some larger images, this is my little handmade book. My husband helped me make this. I've run out of room in my Tim Holtz storage binders. And so we made one. And you can see these are brand new stamps I haven't even used. What I thought we could also try doing was I have the Forest Floor stamp set, and I was thinking of using this image right here, which is the wood chip, or maybe the acorn, or even any of them, and just putting a large image over the whole thing and then decorating over that larger image. We can do that too. But the first thing we need to do is oops, sorry, I hit you. The first thing we need to do is to stencil our specimen cards to get a little bit of color into them. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to move all this stuff to the side, and I'm just going to grab out my little grungy pad here, which, if you haven't seen this before, this is a child's placemat. You can see it's also already been well used. It's a child's placemat, and it's, oh gosh, what's it called? The material. Oh, I can't remember. Silicone. And you can pretty much wipe it off, except if you use alcohol markers, which I did, and the alcohol markers don't come off. But the regular, like, distress inks will come off in no time. And I think what we're going to do, I purchased a card kit from Simon Says Stamp, and the card kit came with 3 of Simon Says Stamp's Positively Saturated inks, and I haven't yet used the Artichoke. So because the Artichoke, well, is green, duh, I thought that maybe we could use that and just put an overall design over our little specimen. And I do want to try to protect my panel here. So what I may do, I'm going to use this. This was the leftovers from the things that we stamped when we made our, our page tabs. What I also think I want to do is I want to use my magnetic mat instead of this one. So I'll be right back. I'm going to go get that. Okay. All right. I saw someone use this. I can't remember her name, but the name of her YouTube channel is Pink Whisper Designs, and she does a lot of things with stenciling and stamping of greeting cards. This is the Wendy Vecchi Make Art Station, and it is a metallic station. I bought extra magnets to use on it, and I think I overdid it with how strong they are. These are the magnets that it comes with. It is a magnetic board, and they are so much nicer. These are a little bit strong. These you can actually use on your boat to hang your clothes on. But whatever. I think I overdid it. But it's okay because I like them anyway. All right. What I'm going to do is I am going to grab a sponge dauber. It's a rounded dome top. This has a color on it. I don't remember what it is, but I'm not going to be concerned because it's green. Whatever it was I used, that was green. And we're going to use, again, our Simon Says Stamp Positively Saturated Artichoke ink, okay? And I am just going to go over this like this, get a little ink onto my dauber, and I'm going to stencil, okay? And I'm going to go all the way around. You can see how nicely the magnets are holding my piece of paper down. And I'm going to go all the way around, and I'm going to stencil this and get it all done. I do want to try to move that magnets in the way. All right, we're going to go around, okay, all the way around. I want it nice and dark, so I'm going to keep going over it. And if I get ink on the magnetic mat, it's okay because it will wipe right off. So we're going to keep going around, and we're going to do all of our little fizzy bubbles. Okay, I'll link all this stuff in the description box below. I hope you guys are checking out the description box. I do link, try to remember to link everything I use that I can find online for you, from all sorts of different vendors. Amazon, Simon Says Stamp, scrapbook.com, depending on what it is I'm linking. Okay. So yeah, and usually it'll give you, if you, as you may know, as you probably know, I'm on the design team for Tracy Fox, over at Fox Creative. Look at how pretty that is. Isn't that cool? And it's a great little background. I love just stenciling to fill in on a white piece of cardstock. All right, and I think that what I'm going to also do is I'm going to do it on the other side as well. Okay, so I'm going to lay my stencil down again, and although it's not going to be perfectly straight, it's bubbles. They don't need to be perfectly straight. All right, I'm going to take 2 of my gentler magnets. I'm going to re-ink my dauber here, and I'm going to go over this one too. Okay. Oh, I just thought about it. Maybe I shouldn't have done it. Well, I'll do the edges all the way around anyway, because we were going to stamp our image in the middle and color it, weren't we? Well, you know what? We'll make this one the one that we use one of Tim Holtz Field Notes butterflies for. Okay? All right, so now we have it all inked up and ready to go. Let's put the lid back on this. Let me stick my dauber in its little bucket. Okay. And there we go. We have both sides inked. This one's a little bit darker. I wonder if I could stamp over this. Well, you know what? We're going to find out because we are going to stamp some images over it anyway. So we will see how well the black ink is going to stamp over the green ink. And we're going to use my Hero Arts Intense Black ink. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this away and I am going to bring out my Misty because I want my stamping to be accurate, okay? That's important to me, okay? I'm thinking now, maybe we should decorate the other one before we do that. You know what? Let's do that. We will take our stencil back out and I'm going to grab a different color of the ink. And let me see, do I have a dauber available in that color? Yes, I do. And I know this is the right color because I used this dauber the last time. All right. This is cracked pistachio that I used on something else I was making. Oh, it was on that little specimen slide that I showed you guys. I'm going to put my artichoke away. Okay. Everybody should always put their artichokes away. We don't want them to get hurt. And I'm going to grab out my latte. Okay. So let's grab a hold of that. And we are just going to stencil one side of this one. Okay. Because I want to see if we can stamp an image. Come on, if I can get this open. That's probably why they're always saturated. Positively saturated because they're so, there we go, so hard to get open. All right. And this is a pretty brown, like a creamy caramel almost. So let me ink this up like so. And then we will just, as I said, do the outside of this one. And there is still a little bit of green on here, but we're not going to let that bother us. If it gets onto here, more the better. The happier we are. A little bit more colorful. Let's put that closer. Okay. Yeah, see, this is when I guess my clothing marker magnets will do me better. All right, let's grab a little bit more ink on here, like so. I've never used these inks before, prior to the few things that I have just made within the past week or so with them. And like I said, I got them in a card kit. It was their Yeti card kit, which is a birthday kit for winter. Birthday card kit, and I believe there are other sentiments. And it came with the inks. And so I love them. I absolutely love them. But I feel guilty buying more colors of colors that I already own in so many other inks. So I'm kind of holding off buying more of the colors for now. But we'll see. I'm sure I won't be able to hold out all that long without purchasing some more colors. I did see a bunch of browns and grays that I am in love with, but trying to be a good girl. I have bought so much stuff in the past couple of months, buying dies to make cards with. Okay, there we go. Now we have it in the beige, okay? So we're going to leave this part empty. And what I'm going to do before I do anything else, I want to make sure that this is completely straight. And it is off by a little. I'm just going to hold it down and grab my bone folder. And I'm going to try and straighten this out. Okay? You guys are along with me doing things I wouldn't normally do on video today. All right, so now it's straight. Now what I will do in order to make sure that my image is centered on the square that is not centered, I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to hold my specimen slide closed. And I do this often, just so even when I'm gluing stuff down, so that I know that what I'm gluing is in the center of the slide. And I am going to trace around the inside of this square or this opening, okay, like so. Okay, so now I know that that spot there where you can see the pencil mark, I hope, is where we're either going to stamp our little ladybug or we're going to glue down a Field Notes butterfly. And I'm going to grab the green one and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to make sure this one is even wonkier than the other one. I'm going to grab it, I'm going to hold it, see how much I have to fix, and I'm going to try to straighten this out. And I don't know how well it's going to go. Okay, I think we got it. Yep, okay. All right, this is, like I said, 80-pound cardstock. So now you can see we have those little dots inside, but I'm still going to take my pencil and I'm going to trace around like so, and I'm going to make a little square, which you can hopefully see my little pencil mark there. And there we go, okay? So we have these set. I'm going to go grab my Misty. Well, it's right next to me, but I am going to get rid of this and bring that over, okay? So I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I have put a piece of paper here in an attempt to move away the glare from my Misty, because I want to show you from start to finish how I would stamp this image. So my light, which is my only source of light other than the light behind me up on the ceiling, is reflecting on top of the plastic cover. So I'm going to open my Misty and try to get rid of some of that glare, which of course is not happening. So sorry guys, we'll just have to deal with it for now. All right, what I want to do is I do want to stamp an image into this portion of my specimen slide. So I am going to take and I am going to line my specimen slide up with the top and the side of my Misty, which has a sticky mat in it. And I'm going to put my little magnet down. And I'm going to grab the ladybug. I have got to clean this stamp. It keeps falling off. I'm going to grab my little ladybug. And I am just going to lay her down right inside of that square there. And I just realized I need to remove this mat, because when you're stamping with clear silicone stamps, you need that mat. When you're stamping with red rubber stamps, just like this one, you don't need the mat. Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to flip my Misty closed and pick up my little ladybug, which, as you can see, is very well loved. Okay. And I am just going to take and I'm going to ink up my ladybug. Okay. Like so. And I'm going to turn it over. You'll have to excuse the squeaks. And I'm going to push down like so. And that's a relatively decent image for a first image. But I'm going to stamp it again because I would like it to be a little bit darker. Okay. And I'm going to push it down again like so. And we're going to look at her. And I think one more time should be good. Okay. Like so. And we're going to push down. And I think that's a pretty good image. Okay. So yeah, I'm pretty. I'm happy with that one. Okay. So I think we'll use that. Now, what we also wanted to do, if you remember, was we wanted to stamp some things on the outside of our specimen slide. And so what we can do now is we can grab out a couple of our Tim Holtz field notes, and I'm going to grab my little stamping blocks for that, because I honestly don't think, other than just stamping that one image, I honestly don't think we really need to have out the MISTI to stamp those images. Okay, I do prefer it, but I also like the option of being able to move things around. So let me just put my MISTI into a safe spot so that it doesn't fall. And I'm going to grab out my little icky mat, okay, and we're just going to grab a couple of stamping blocks, which I have stored under my desk. Avalanche. All right, I'm going to grab out my stamping blocks out of my little box there, and that avalanche was my paper trimmer. Okay, I'm gonna open this up and grab out some empty stamping blocks like so. I don't think I need the huge mamma jamma, but I think I might grab out this one underneath, which has been, sorry for the noise, well worn and well loved. Put these guys away. Okay. Alrighty. Put this back without having an avalanche, I hope. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're good. Okay. We are, you know what? I'm not going to use this because I think it's too squishy. So we're just going to put that away. Okay. See, this is what stamping and doing things with me is like when I have not centered it and filtered it all out. But look at that. How cool is that? Our little ladybug is part of our card. Now, we could put acetate under there, but do we really want to? Now, the other thing I was thinking of was rounding the corners on this. Okay, so let's see if we use the number 4. This could ruin the whole thing, guys. Let's see if we like that. Oh, yeah, that's just a little bit taken off the corner, and we are doing it while it's closed because even though we straightened it out, it's still not perfect. Okay, we do have that rounded. Let's see, can we do this part? I don't think so. Oh, maybe. Let's see. Did we get it? We got it. Okay, so we're going to round all 4 corners, and hopefully this last corner is not going to destroy our little specimen slide. Looky. How cool is that? We rounded all the corners. Okay. Now, what I normally would do at this point is I would grab my vintage photo and I would ink all the way around. But I think what we're going to do first is we're going to do some stamping onto the outside of our specimen slide. And so we're going to pick and choose what we want to use. And of course, should we use the one that says, isn't there one in here that says, yes, we have this big one, which says specimen. So I am going to put that down on my stamping block like so. Actually, I think I'll move it up a little like so. And then I'm going to ink up my stamp with my Hero Arts, what is this? Intense Black. And I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to ink it up good. And I'm going to hope that my image comes out pretty special. You know what I might do? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold these two side by side, and I'm going to stamp them both at the same time. Like so. And get a little bit of that specimen label onto both of them. And look, it worked. Okay, that is enough with that one. Let's grab out our little round one here, which is basically received from directory, whatever. And I'm going to use the little baby here. And again, we're going to ink it up. Okay. This one's small, so I think I'll just stamp it in the ink. And we're just going to put that. We're going to actually turn this way. Okay. And we're going to put received right there. Trying not to get it onto my little pad there because this is permanent ink. Okay, and should we stamp on this one too in conjunction with stamping on that one? Sure, why not? Okay, let's put received. I am going to slide this piece of paper underneath it because I don't want this ink on my craft mat. Okay, so I'm going to just give it a little bit more ink. Make sure I've got it in the right direction. And I'm going to kind of stamp this one over the edge like so. Okay, that one came out pretty cool. Should we do another received on here? Yeah, why not? Let's do another one because these things could be getting passed around and being sent from place to place. And I think we'll stamp over specimen there. And so they are getting received in different areas. Now, let's grab, what should we grab? Identification check. Nope, we need the bigger one for that. Okay. And we are going to grab our pad, our stamp pad. I hope you guys watched the other one with the page tabs, because that one was pretty cool too. And so we're going to stamp this right here, okay? And it should fit across the whole side there. Okay. Oh, yeah, we got that there. All right, should we put that on this one too? Why not? Let's just ink it up again. And I think we'll put it on this side so it's kind of overlapping the received. Okay, so there you go. We have it on both. And we'll put that one away. And then we can grab this one, the one that says enclosure. And we'll stamp that on here too. And we're just gonna push this down into the stamp pad because this one is a little bit smaller, and we can just put enclosure right about there because we do want to decorate the outsides of these with ephemera as well. Now you see, you can see that only part of it's stamped, but that's okay because we like that. Well, I do. Okay, and I'm going to put that one, let's see, I'm going to put that one right about there. Okay, see, we got partial on both. And what else can we do? Let's see, let's put filed. Filed's always fun. Okay, let's just turn it in the right direction because knowing me, I'll stamp it upside down. Let's grab filed. And okay, we want it to go this way because when we fold our little specimen slide together, that's going to be facing in the right direction. Now on this one, we can put filed on the bottom, right there. Okay, like so. And I think we'll do one more, and then maybe I will just go away and I will finish this on my own. I think this one's pretty cool. This one is a number label. And so we'll put that. Maybe we'll put that one in the middle down here. Actually, we'll go over the part that says identification check. Okay. See, we got that. And then I think this one we'll stamp up here near the edge, like so. And we have that one on there. Okay, I'm going to go away and I'm going to do maybe a little bit more stamping and I will come right back to you. And we are back. As you can see, I have added some decorations to the front of this specimen slide because we did the same thing on here and I just figured you didn't need to see it again. And I have colored in my ladybug using some of my alcohol ink markers. This is a set that I got off of Amazon. I took a chance. I bought it. It was 120 markers for, I don't know, 30 bucks. It was a new item on their website, and it seemed to have gotten good reviews, so I bought the set, and it has been working well because I was coloring all weekend in times when I could grab some time for myself. And they do work well. But I have colored my little ladybug. Now, in lieu of using acetate again on this one, I tested out a little piece of vellum to see if we would be able to see our image through the vellum, and we can. So I have opted to use some vellum for this specimen slide. Now, if you've watched me before, and if you've watched anybody who uses vellum, you will know that vellum and glue do not get along. So I have lined the inside edges of my specimen slide with double-sided tape. And I'm going to remove all of the little papers off of that. And if you've watched me before, you'll also know that this is going relatively smoothly for me. I'm able to grab the paper up. Oh, there I go. I just messed it all up for myself. I'm actually getting a hold of the little paper that holds the tape down. And there we go. See, I shouldn't have said anything. And now I can't get this piece off. Ah, come on. All right, let's try grabbing it from this side. There we go. Okay, taking the papers off. And I'm sorry if you hear doors rattling, although I don't know if you actually can, but it's a beautiful day here. And so in lieu of having the air conditioning on, I am in Florida, we have the windows open. Okay, so now I have cut my vellum in pretty much the same fashion that I cut my acetate. And I cut it to fit inside of this little area right here so that it fits and catches itself up like so. And now I'm going to press the vellum down onto the double-sided tape like so. And there we go. Isn't that really kind of cool? You get kind of a muted image, but you can still see the ladybug. I really like that. All right, now, what I just realized is I do have to glue my vellum down to the other side. And I'm going to use double-sided tape on here too. So I'm going to grab my double-sided tape. Or maybe I should use glue. I don't know. I don't know how the vellum is going to react. Let's go for it. Let's use the glue. We're just going to glue it down. We're going to put some glue all around the outside edges, which probably are not going to come anywhere near the vellum anyway. And we're going to glue this one shut because I do want to add one little thing before we call it a wrap. Where is my bone folder? If you could see the mess that I'm working in right now, there is stuff everywhere. And I do have intentions. Oh, look, it's staying stuck and not making too much of a fuss. I guess in the long run, we'll see what happens. All right, let's glue the other one together. Okay. And again, we don't want the glue to come through our acetate window. Oh, but we do have to catch up the acetate because it is a little bit thicker. So I'm just going to put a line of glue on the outer edge and also closer to the center, but not too close to where the opening will be, just so we catch all of the acetate. Now, let's just squish it all together and hope that nothing peeks through our window and nothing is. Okay, this is scrap acetate, by the way. It must have come from a stamp set or a die set that I purchased. And yeah, I think we're good. Okay, this seems to be staying stuck as well. Okay, now what I also want to do is I want to add an eyelet into the corner that is the undecorated corner. I'm not going to measure. I'm not going to do anything. I am just going to take my crocodile and I am pretty much going to punch a hole into the corner of my specimen slide like so. I do kind of want to be down near the bottom because if I want to put in a bulb pin and dangle a charm from it, you can see just about where I put that hole. Like I said, completely unmeasured. I'm going to do, first I'm going to get rid of the crumbs that are left. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Okay. And now keep your fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen, because if you've watched me, you know that my luck with getting an eyelet in the first time is like a slim to none. All right, let's see if I can find, those are not really good ones. Let's see. Do I have, here's a nickel colored one. Let's put that one in here. And it fits. And let's keep your fingers crossed that it goes through nicely. Like so. Let me see what I'm doing. Can you see what I'm doing? Probably not. And I'm just gonna press it together. Keep your fingers crossed. Oh, it worked. There we go. So we have a little eyelet in this one. And let's grab one of these. This is like a bronze or brass. And we're going to see if that one will go in the hole properly. Like so. There we go. All right. Keep your fingers crossed again. I'm going to squeeze. Oh, I think that one came out brilliantly. Okay. So there we go. We have some eyelets. I don't have any bowl pins with charms available to me right here. Let's see. Let me check my little dish here and see if I have one. Oh, I have one. It's red, but it'll do. Oh, I have a little owl charm. We can put our little owl on there. And with any luck, the eyelet will work okay. Oh, look at that. There we go. Okay. So you have your little specimen slide with your charm. And I don't think I have... Oh, I do. I have another one. What charms do I have laying around that might go? Let's see. Well, I have a cross, but I don't think we want to put that. I could do Choose Happy. Let's do that one. Ladybugs make us happy. So we'll do Choose Happy. Okay, if I can grab hold of it. This is probably too heavy for this, but it'll give you an idea. Okay. And there you go. Okay. See, this one's a little tight because I think the eyelet I used is a little thicker. But just flip your bowl pin. So there you have that one too. So I hope you had fun doing that. I know it's a little bit more than what I usually do. I don't usually do as much of the prep work on camera as we did today. But I hope it wasn't too much for you, and I hope you stuck around for the whole thing. I know we had a couple of little blips here and there. But yeah, so here's my second mass make for March. I don't know if I'm going to do any more. It maybe, depending on, hopefully nobody's truck will break down and I can get more done in a day. But yeah, so there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, and I am going to send you lots of love and big hugs and ask you to please, please, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment. It really does help my channel. I know I've been floundering a bit personally with getting, a video. I try to get 2 videos up every weekend. It just hasn't been happening. Life's been a little bit hectic lately. So yeah, so please remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you soon. I have no idea how long this video is. Hopefully it's not 4 hours, but yeah. Okay, let me zoom you in a little bit better, and so you could take a better look at the slides that we made. Okay, I'll bring it up a little. Okay, there's with the little owl. All right, and we decorated it. Remember, we stenciled and we stamped. Okay. And here's the other one with the vellum. And choose happy for our happy little ladybug. Okay, guys? I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing and comment. Okay, I love to answer comments. Look at how filthy my hands are. Oh, my goodness. I'll see you soon. Bye.